We are live. First of all, let me put my wallet there so I can. All right, that's better. That's better. Okay, cool. Perfect. Actually, do need a drink of water, so I know how that's gonna work. I guess we're about to find out because I actually would like to have a drink at some point, and my water bottle is acting as my tripod right now. Anyway, welcome in. My name is Kadeem. I'm traveling the world. I'm financially free before the age of 30. I'm retired. I've been traveling for 2 years now. I manage a portfolio of over $10 million of real estate, and life is good. And I make these videos because I provide two scholarships for kids in Jamaica. And by the end of the year, I'm trying to get to four. And so right now it's out of pocket. YouTube doesn't make any money, but if YouTube starts making money, I will use the YouTube money 100% to go towards helping those kids in Jamaica. And so that's why I'm doing this. In case you're wondering, in case you haven't been here since February, that's why I'm doing this. And so, what I wanted to come on and talk about is even though we're gonna obviously have entertainment and stuff, that's why I'm doing the YouTube. It's for the kids in Jamaica. Cool, cool. Now to the topic at hand. Jamaica versus USA. I'm not sure if you actually know this, but Jamaica versus USA is trending right now. Not sure why, but I'm going to talk about Jamaica versus US. Obviously born in Jamaica, so I've lived in Jamaica for what, 15, 16, 17, 17 years. And then I spent 8 years in the USA, and I toured more of the US than most people in the US have ever been to. So I've been to 38 states in the US, including Hawaii. Never been to Alaska, but I've been to most of the states in the US. And I can tell you, I didn't go there for 1 or 2 or 3 days, right? I don't do that. My trips are usually like maybe 2 weeks, right? So I'm very familiar with a lot of the different places, and I travel solo. So then when I travel solo, I get to know people, I get to know the culture, I get to ask questions. So I have a pretty good understanding of the US versus Jamaica. So that's why I'm coming on to answer questions on either country that you may have, right? Because maybe you want to go to the US one day, maybe you're not sure what it's like, maybe you think it's dangerous. I actually recorded a video yesterday about this, but right now I'm going to go live. I'm live to actually talk about it. Let me just say, I'll start here. Many people think that Jamaica is very violent, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Jamaica is a violent place, but the US also has. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Welcome in. Tell me where you're watching from. Hey, Abel, good to see you again. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from. Talk to me. Jamaica is violent. It's a violent place. However, the US actually does have more violent pockets. For example, in the US, you have to carry a firearm with you because if you walk out of your house in Bronx, for example, you can get robbed. If you are in Atlanta, everybody has a strap, right? Everybody has a gun on them. You can get robbed in Atlanta. These places, major cities, LA, Los Angeles, right? San Diego. Um, you can think of Chicago, downtown Chicago, very, very dangerous place. Newark, New Jersey. Bronx, again, Brooklyn. These are dangerous places. You don't want to be out at night in any of these places. And I've been traveling all over the world. You don't want to be in these places at nighttime. But where I am right now in Suriname, I can walk with my phone at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm fine. But where I am right now, Suriname is actually safer than New York City. Think about that, right? I feel safer here than in New York City, than in Atlanta. In Atlanta, people have guns. Everybody has a gun. So if someone doesn't like you, they have a gun. They can do something about that. But here, that's much less likely. People are walking around, people leave you alone. Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? You're in Brooklyn. Someone is in Georgia. Hey, Brooklyn, New York. Oh, shoot, nice, nice. Right. So Brooklyn is actually more dangerous than where I am in Suriname. So then, if you're talking about danger, I think honestly, Jamaica. I mean, okay. So then, Jamaica versus the U.S. It depends on where you are in the U.S. If you go to Ohio, right? Ohio is obviously going to be safer than Jamaica because Jamaica is one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's one of the most dangerous countries in the world. But if you go to Brooklyn or you go to Atlanta at nighttime, New York, sorry, Georgia is more dangerous than any time of day in Jamaica. That's my point, right? So then, if you're talking about danger alone, and I will also tell you, it's not just about danger in terms of gun violence or pickpocketing. You also have to think about, financial crimes, right? You also have to think about, can you raise a family in these places. Raising a family in Atlanta, I really will tell you, it's significantly more dangerous than it is in Jamaica. Raising a family in Jamaica is actually a better place to raise a family in Jamaica than it is, because especially if you can afford healthcare, you can afford childcare in Jamaica way more than you can in the US. So, those are two things to consider. Me also say, I heard gunshots near my house. Yeah, you see, that's Brooklyn. I come back to the comments of flooded as well. Right, exactly, exactly. Brooklyn, right? My parents were robbed by a teenager. This is happening in the US. So to say that the US is more safe than Jamaica, I disagree with that. That's not necessarily true. But there are other things besides safety. Okay, so then let's talk about food. Food in Jamaica, for example, Jamaican cuisine, like how you have Italian cuisine, Indian food, Italian food. Oh, I said Italian, Mexican food. Okay, Jamaican cuisine is some of the best in the world, maybe top five. People travel from all over the world for Jamaican food because it is delicious. Take it from someone who's traveled. Jamaican food is some of the best in the world, and people all over the world will tell you this. Jerk chicken, fried fish, festival oxtail. Oh my God, some of the best food in the world. Be that as it may, you can find Jamaican food in the US. And what's wonderful about the US is that everybody is in the US. What do I mean by that? Why are you deleting your comments, bro? Don't delete anything. I feel you. I feel you. Don't delete your comments. What you doing? Um, you can find everybody lives in the US, so you can find authentic Greek food in the US. You can find authentic Italian food in the US. You can find authentic Jamaican food in the US. People who are from these countries who live in the US. That's the beautiful thing about the US because you can find these people there. That doesn't necessarily happen the same as in Jamaica. No, I'm not saying that you can't find Greek food. There are people who live there. It's just that the US is such a big place. It's way more likely in Jamaica. You see what I'm saying? Way more likely. So then, if you're actually thinking about it, well, the US just has more options because it's a big place. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. Besides food, there's a lot more. There's a lot more comparisons. So food is one. I'll give you another one. And I will also say barbecue. No one else in the world does barbecue. No one else in the world does barbecue like Americans. No one else. No steak. Best steak I've ever had is in Argentina. Best steak. But barbecue, the sauce, barbecue, it's done the best in America. In Southern America, right? So I'm talking like Texas, Arizona, Florida. That's the best barbecue you can ever have in the world. Yeah, it doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get better than that. But me and my friends made barbecue. Yeah, exactly. The best barbecue because it's just a part of the culture. Barbecuing every July 4th, every year. You've been doing barbecue since you've been a child, right? So much practice. People in Jamaica don't barbecue like the people in the US do. So if you want barbecue, yeah, you got to go to the US, man. Best food, best barbecue that you'll ever have is going to be in the US by far. What between uh made barbecue, bro? Yeah. Barbecue is really good. Between Jamaica and the US. Oh, make sure you subscribe, by the way. I actually said this at the beginning because one, we're growing this channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs. And we're also trying to get YouTube to pay us so that we can pay the kids in Jamaica to help them go to college. Because I don't need the money, but those kids do. So subscribe, help me help them. Okay, cool. And while we're doing it, we'll have fun. That's kind of cool, right? So Jamaica versus US. I'll give you another comparison. Fast food, okay, cool. Safety, okay, cool. But here's what I will tell you. The people in Jamaica are some of the most friendly in the world. I was raised to say please, thank you, good morning, good night, how you doing to everybody. So walking down the street, for example, and I see strangers, I'm saying good morning. Hey, how you doing? Just pointing at people, waving, whatever, smiling. I do that to everybody because that's how I was raised. But people in the US weren't raised the same way. So then that was actually a culture shock for me. Moving from Jamaica to New York, who says good morning in New York? Nobody even knows you. Nobody cares about you in New York. People have their sunglasses on and they put their headphones on and nobody talks to you at all. Nobody talks to you. Nobody cares about you. Right? So then that was a bit of a culture shock. By the way, let me show you my background. This is what I'm looking at right now. That's my background. I do that so that people can see that this is not green screen, right? So um there you go. Let me make sure that you can actually see me. All right, boom. Right. So what are they talking about? Um what was I talking about? I was talking about um culture shock. Right. Nobody greets you in New York. Everybody's kind of cold. Everybody's kind of to themselves, which is fine because people in New York, they're there to work. That's what you go to New York to do. You go to get your dreams fulfilled. And then you go to Miami. Once you made money in New York, you leave New York. People don't really stay there. You leave New York and you go to Miami to enjoy yourself. You go to Florida or you leave the country. But you go to New York to make a lot of money and then leave. So then everybody in New York is working. They're trying to make their dreams come true. That's the place where dreams come true. And I feel it when my first book came out. I remember that picture I took in Times Square with the billboard behind me. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I published my own book. It's a bestseller and I'm in New York. That's what New York is for. But once you leave New York, you leave because once you made it, you leave New York because the people are all very miserable. Everybody's working, everybody's high stress. New York doesn't sleep because why? Because money doesn't sleep. And I'm not sure if you know this, but living in a city that doesn't sleep gets tiring because I like sleep and people like to sleep. Sleeping is natural. There's nothing wrong with sleeping, right? So then that's another thing about New York is that it doesn't sleep. But if you go to obviously there are other countries where making money isn't the only focus. But in the US, especially in New York, in major cities, California, making money, that's the only thing that these people want, right? So it's not necessarily the best thing. That's very loud. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but that's very loud. They're setting up over there for some type of event. I'm at the hotel, so yeah. Hey Kasim, how you doing? Night, long time no see, long time no see. If you're joining, tell me where you're watching from and also make sure that you subscribe so that we can get this show on the road. I'm going to be live maybe for half an hour today. So we'll see. We'll see. We're just starting. We're just getting into it. We're just getting into it. We'll see how it goes. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that blue sky, man. That's pretty sick. Don't you think? Yeah, that's pretty sick. That's such a blue sky, man. Such a blue sky. Such a great day. Such a great day. Such a great day. So, yeah, tell me what else is happening. I'm in Asia, in the Middle East. Asia in the Middle East. Okay, 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 okay. Kasim, tell me something. Do you watch sports? Because UEFA Champions League actually just happened. Man, that was a crazy match. Do you guys watch sports? Because I was watching that final, Inter Milan versus PSG. That was an insane final. An insane final. I definitely thought that Inter Milan would have won that because Inter Milan beat Barcelona. So I was like, oh well, if they beat Barcelona, then they have to win, right? Oh my God, I was so wrong. And you know what? You don't actually realize how big soccer is or how big football is until you leave the US. But everybody else in the world watches football. Everybody watches football because football is the sport of the world. You see what I'm saying? Football is the sport everybody watches. Yes, I watch soccer. 5 years, crazy. I'm telling you, man. I definitely thought they were going to do better. That was actually, yeah, man. That was shameful. Somebody said, "Oh, yo, look at where look at how careless I am. Look at this. You see that right there? That's my wallet. You see that? Where am I? With my finger. That's my wallet. You see how careless I am? Yeah, don't do that. Let me go get my wallet first of all. So damn careless. What the hell am I doing? All right, I have my wallet. What am I doing? Imagine if I left my wallet there, went to get food, got there, no wallet in my pants or my shorts. Yeah, and I just came from the gym, so that's why I'm. Maybe a little bit sweaty, a little bit hot. The gym has AC. Outside doesn't have AC, so I wasn't prepared for how hot this is. Right now, I'm going to leave here. I'm going to go get food, but I was going to walk. I can't walk in this because it's way too hot. This cotton is very thick cotton, so I'm going to call a taxi. U.S. versus Jamaica. Back to what we are talking about. U.S. versus Jamaica. Uh, U.S. U.S. is a big place. I will also. All right. So then here's talking about money, right? US versus Jamaica. The USA, man, I appreciate the love for people dropping likes in the chat. I appreciate that. That brings more people in. The USA is a big place. Let me explain something. If you want to make a lot of money, you should be in the USA. If you want to make a lot of money, the USA is the place you should be. As someone who's made millions of dollars in the USA and who's obviously retired before 30, I will tell you that there is nowhere else in the world to make as much money in the USA as possible. There's nowhere else. There's nowhere else. So then if you want to be the best of the best at entrepreneurship, as business, as anything, the US is the place to go. And I'm going to explain why. The US has 400 million people that you can sell to. Whatever your idea is, you can sell it to 400 million people without restriction. It also has the place where you can get easy access to capital, meaning there are 18-year-olds getting handed credit cards for 5,000, 10,000, $15,000. That doesn't happen in any other country. You can get $15,000 and then sell anything to 400 million people. Okay? The US provides that marketplace. This is capitalism. So there's nowhere else that you're able to get rich in this sense. There's nowhere else. It doesn't exist. The US is the place. Okay? So then, if you have somewhere like this, if you're not physically in the US, how can you actually reach people in the US? I'll give you a couple of scenarios. One, you can join Facebook groups that have people in the US. That's one. Two, you can target people using ads in the US. Facebook groups is free, ads you have to pay for. You can start any social media account that doesn't involve your face and just use hashtag USA, and it will feed all of your content to people in the USA. Okay? You don't have to show your face. So, for example, you could sell American flags and you know people live there. Made in the USA, shipped by USA, everything in the USA, and you're running your page from halfway across the world. Okay? Picture what I'm saying. You can also start a Shopify store, target people in the US. You can sell people um, US made bikini. July 4th is coming up, right? Sell people US made bikini. You can sell US made fireworks. You can anything, right, that targets people in the US. Again, you can use Google ads, you can use Facebook ads, you can use TikTok ads, you can use LinkedIn ads, you can use Reddit ads to target people in the US, right? It's how you make money even if you don't have access to the US market, because again, the US market is the best in the world. That's how you make money. Okay. Let me give you another scenario. So if you're not in the US, what you have Facebook groups, you have social media. Even if you're not paying for ads, you can also reach people by using hashtag USA. So that's also free. That's three ways to access the US market. How else can you access the US market? You can go live. Go live just like this on TikTok or even on YouTube or on Twitch. You can go live. And the people in the US who have access to US credit cards will pay you in US dollars. And you take that money in whatever country that you're in. You have to get really good at content, but then you are accessing the market anyway. Your excuse to not get in the US market does not exist today because you have a phone. You can do business with anybody in anywhere in the world as long as you have a phone and they have an internet connection. So, be it as it may, the US economy is so much better than Jamaica. Jamaica is only 3 million people. So then, even mathematically, if you charge everybody in the country $1, you can only make $3 million in Jamaica, but you can earn $400 million in the US. That's why people get so rich in the US. It's so easy. You can just target people in one city in America and make the same amount of money as having a big business in Jamaica. It's night and day. I tried to find some evergreen products that are too expensive and cheap and are relatively unlikely and trending as well, according to Google Trends. Good, great, go for it. Google Trends is great. So Jamaica versus USA, that's what it is, man. You're doing the research, good, keep going. USA versus Jamaica, you have to understand that is not a Jamaica's not a big place. We have a big impact on the world, but we're a small, small place. I think New York City, like the five boroughs of New York City, is actually bigger than Jamaica. Think about that. The five boroughs of New York City, it's bigger than Jamaica, right? All of the states, all 50 states are bigger than Jamaica. Any individual state is bigger than Jamaica. So think about these things, right? Jamaica is a very small place. You could dominate one state and make millions of dollars just in that one state. That's the beautiful thing about the US. So yeah, man. I mean, if it's like night and day, right? If you're not in the US market, then you have to get to the US market. Can you tell who I am? Yes, I remember. I remember J Ryder. I remember. Joseph. Name was slipping me just now. Brain freeze. Yes, Joseph. I remember who you are. Is it Joseph or Joe? No, it's just Joe, right? I think it's just Joe. Um, I hear you, brother. I hear you. I hear you. You're making progress. That's good. Hopefully I inspire people to go after financial freedom, right? Because you only really have one life. And what my plan is, I'll tell you. Um, all right, well, don't put my business out there, fam. Jesus, that's funny. This guy's bringing up Seton Hall. It's hilarious. Um, what was I about to say? What was I about to say? Damn, I forgot my point. Oh, let me tell you a little bit about me. Right, boom. So, we have like what, 8 more minutes in the life. Let's see what we can get out. So, my goal so far in my life, I've been able to master the cello. That's my first life. And then I was able to master school. I got straight A's in college and I was able to publish a book about it. This part of my life is mastering financial freedom, and I'll be able to travel the world and just experience freedom, right? Total freedom. So this is my third life. My goal is to do maybe 6 or 7 lifetimes in this one life. I want 6 or 7 lives in this one life. And so I'm on my third one. And what that means is that I have to master something, of course. I have to do something very well. Oh, wow. That's very loud. All right, we're going to move. It means I have to do something very well. Um, I also have to think about the next step. My next life, I hope, will be stand up comedy. My next life will be stand up comedy. And so then every day I'll be working on stand up comedy, trying to grow my audience, trying to find new deals, trying to get onto new shows. That's going to start in a couple of years. I haven't started stand up comedy yet. So I'm still enjoying this financial freedom life. But that's going to be my fourth life. After that, well, you'll have to find out. However, that will be my fourth life, stand up comedy. And I can't wait to do that because one, stand up comedy has been a dream for a long time. But the reason I'm telling you this is because the way that I think about my life and being able to experience multiple lives in one is that most people don't even live one, right? Most people are just working, trying to start their first life. And I'm already on my third. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to inspire you to do more and think outside the box. That's why I'm telling you this. And I'm going to save this clip so that we can actually share this with people afterwards. I'm really trying to inspire people to think, to have more fulfilling lives, to have more full lives. Now, the reason why I can't do 50 lives in one lifetime is because it takes time to actually master something. Okay. You have to do 10,000 hours of something to get the benefits of it. So, for example, cello, it took me 7 years to sound decent, right? And I presume it's going to be the same. It took me 7 years to get to financial freedom. And I presume it's going to do the same thing with stand up comedy. For the first 5 years, I'm probably going to suck. I'm telling you that right now. It's probably not going to be good. But after those 7 years, those 5, 6, 7 years, eight, maybe year eight, I'll probably be decent. And then I'll be able to enjoy that for the next 2, 3, 4 years of being decent and maybe approaching good. You see what I'm saying? That's how long it takes to get to the top 5%, top 10% of anything. It takes a while. Now, in the last couple years of my cello career, right, I was able to perform for governors, British royalty. I was able to perform for prime ministers. I was able to perform for presidents of countries. But that happened in the last couple years. Same thing with academics. I was able to get anything I wanted in academics because I was a straight A student. Same thing with financial freedom. Now I get to travel, and I've been traveling for 2 years, even though I've been retired. You see what I'm saying? So then it's going to be the same thing with comedy. You have to go through the first part, the first 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and then enjoy it. And of course, you're going to enjoy the journey too. I enjoy the journey, obviously, whatever, right? But it takes a decade to really do something great. That's why you can't have 50 lifetimes. That's why I can't have 50 lives in one lifetime. However, I'm telling you right now, it is so worth it to think this way because I get to experience as much life as possible in one life. Super cool. What did I expose your business? No, you didn't expose my business. I just said you were both peer advisors at Seton Hall. No, the mention of peer advisors was what I found funny. I mean, I have nothing to hide. I was a peer advisor at Seton Hall. Obviously, it's a part of my story. And everybody knows that I was at Seton Hall on a full scholarship. So I came from high school. I, I mastered school before I got to Seton Hall. Got to Seton Hall. I was a straight A student. In high school, I was a failing student, and then I fixed that before I got to college. Got the ball rolling. So I got to Seton Hall on a full scholarship, and then took off from Seton Hall. I was a straight A student. I joined the army. I was in orchestra. I was in a club called Black Men of Standard that I guess it was supposed to be uplifting black men. Um, did it? All right, that's debatable. I'll come back to that another day, another day. But that was the point of the club, right? So um, essentially, that's a part of my story. All of that is a part of my story. Seton Hall, there really is a lot of history between myself and Seton Hall. Seton Hall is a very crucial part of my story. I would never say that Seton Hall made me. I would never say that. But Seton Hall did give me chances to meet people and learn things that I wouldn't have learned otherwise. So I am very grateful to Seton Hall, and I'm grateful to some of the people I've met at Seton Hall. But I want to be clear, Seton Hall didn't make me. I was me before I got to Seton Hall. Okay, made it very clear. How old are you? I'm 26. Do you think it would be inspirational if an autistic man succeed in e-commerce and achieve financial freedom? I feel like this is similar to you succeeding as someone from Jamaica. Everybody has their journey. There's something that you should know. Mr. Beast has Crohn's disease. And the moment I learned that, that changed my perspective on any sort of excuse that anybody has. And obviously, I don't give people a lot of excuses, especially someone coming from a third world country. But let me explain why that was so impactful for me. Him having Crohn's disease as a YouTuber, constantly having to be on camera, means that there are times where he arrives at a destination and he can't shoot because he's in pain. So they have to cancel the entire thing, and that could cost him $500,000. Now, obviously, he has it, but if he had Crohn's disease for his entire life, so then he went from 0 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 to 1 million to 10 million to 400 million. He just crossed having Crohn's disease, and that didn't stop him. The reason why I say that is because it does not matter what you have. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It does not matter. I don't care. The world doesn't care. No one cares I'm from Jamaica. What I will tell you is that whatever your plan is, it will include whatever thing that you're dealing with. So someone will tell me, I'm in a third world country. Okay, then getting to a first world country, that might be a part of your plan. Getting access to a first world economy, that might be a part of your plan. um, Being able to figure out a way to deal with autism, that might be a part of your plan. Again, I'm not being cruel. I'm telling you that the world, okay, let's look at this a different way. Because I don't want to come across as cruel. If I were to say to you, no, don't worry about it, you have autism, it's fine. You don't have to achieve anything great in your life. How would that make you feel? Does that make you feel good? No, right? I want to make it very clear. I'm actually on your side. I'm on your side. If I were to say to you, you have autism, don't worry about it, it's good. Don't worry about it. We got this, right? You know, that would probably suck, and that would make you feel worse. So then, what I'm telling you is that you actually have the responsibility and the power to take it into your own hands and include it as a part of your plan. So because I have this, because I have that, I'm going to figure out what is my journey to figure out in my plan. Okay, I have autism. So then what does that mean? What does that mean is my strength? What does that mean is my weakness? What would work for me? What wouldn't work for me? And then how can I make money and still go ahead? Okay, so does that mean because I have autism, does that mean I'm probably better with computers than most people? All right, cool. What works with computers? You said e-commerce, good. That means I have an advantage in e-commerce. Now we're talking. Now that's your plan. How do I not let autism stop me? How do I make it more powerful and include it as a part of my plan? These are some of the things that you have to think about. If you want to use it as an excuse, then go ahead. But if you're 80 years old and you're looking back on your life that, oh, it's okay, I had autism, so it doesn't matter. That's why I didn't achieve things. I think that's a really suckish way to look at life. That's like me saying, I'm from Jamaica, it's fine. There's no way I'm going to be a millionaire. It's fine. Okay, I'm from a third world country. Hell no. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to show people it doesn't matter, especially not today because we have the internet. There's so much that you can do. Nothing should be able to stop you. So I hope that helped you to think about it. That TV is very loud. So I'm going to come off this live in a little bit, but I hope that helped you to think through some things, bro. Um, I hope that helped you a lot. But I'm going to get going. I'm also hot because I'm now in the sun, but I wanted to make that point to you. Um, and I'm going to save that so that I can share it after. It's very loud. I don't know what they're doing over there. Um, but yeah. All right. I'm going. I'm also hungry because I haven't had breakfast. I'm dying. Peace out, guys. Woo, I'm tired.